All right, hello and welcome to our Orchestra and Band Winter Concert. We're so excited to see you all here tonight. We have some wonderful music to share with you. We've been working on throughout all these ensembles you're going to see. So really excited. The orchestra portion here will continue with a couple more tunes. Early in February, we went to the 2AA Region Large Group Contest, which was a bunch of other orchestras that are in our region for the State High School League, and we performed. We played these particular songs, and we had some judges do some judging and listening, and we're very proud to report that we received a superior rating from both of those judges, which is not something that's easy to do. So. And we worked really hard, and we tried to get one more song in before this concert just to change things up, but that didn't happen. That's okay. These songs are fantastic. The next song we're going to play for you is an arrangement of the Pavane by Ravel. It's a well-known classical tune. You may know it, and if you don't, that's all right. It's really beautiful. So this is Pavane. Alrighty. Not much else to say about the tunes. We have one more for you. It's a nice short song. It's called Firewalk. It's all plucked, the whole thing. And it creates some really cool sounds, some nice contrasts. This is Firewalk. After we're done, then the 9th grade band will come up and set the stage. We appreciate your patience as we do some of that moving in and out, and we'll make it as quick as we possibly can. So this is Fireball.
Hello. You have to forgive them for stopping the story at the beginning there. We haven't actually had a practice since Friday, because I was gone all day today with the jazz band in Sioux Falls. So they didn't even get a practice on the day of the concert. So I think, we just talk, it's all good. So that is a song called Adrenaline Engines. If it sounds familiar to you, it's because I make every freshman band play it. So if there's any senior parents out here, you've probably heard that 4 times now. I do that because it's got mixed meter, it's rhythmic, it's got lots of percussion. It's also got a really easy key signature, and then changed into a really hard key signature. So there's lots of meat on that bone. And so I find it's an engaging piece, and so I like to use it a lot. The next song is very different. I'm making all the bands play a lyrical soft piece this time, and they're not happy about that, but it's okay. Usually soft pieces though have a story, and this one has that, and so it's a pretty lengthy program note, so I hope you bear with me as I read this. I was going to have a student read it, but I thought I would just take it. I'm going to kind of paraphrase what's on the note. So this song is part of what is called the Unbroken Project. It is a series of pieces written by Randall Standridge that draws attention to mental struggles. People that are struggling with depression or anxiety or things like that. Things that he himself struggled with, which is it's kind of therapy for him to write these pieces. So this is the second work in the project. The junior senior band 2 years ago played a piece called Not Alone. That was part of that project as well. This is the second one I've conducted. So this uses themes from another piece of his that was called Affirmation, which is why this is called Reaffirmation, Reaffirmation, because it's based on the themes of that first one. Okay, he says, this is Randall Standridge now speaking. Over the last few years, I've been digging a little deeper into my personal experience and putting them into my music. Growing up, I was the artsy kid who had never quite fit in at my rural high school. I couldn't relate to my peers who wanted to talk about cars and sports and hunting and things that were really great for those that rented those things, but it just wasn't my bag. And I was really bullied for it, mercilessly. I was slammed into lockers, I had items stolen, I had artwork destroyed, I was called many unsavory names by both students and some of my teachers. Little by little, I learned to hate myself, and it took many years into my adult life to unlearn that lesson and to get back to loving myself. So I wanted to write an accessible piece of music for students who had ever felt less than. We call them less thans. Students who are dealing with the same issues that I did day after day. From peers, adults, parents, siblings, I wanted to tell them that it's okay to love themselves, and it's not just okay, but it's necessary. But this piece is also a piece for little Randall, meaning himself. For me, this is a lullaby of comfort, a gentle song to whisper back across the years to my own younger self and tell him that everything's going to be okay. So to all the people that I have the opportunity to directly influence, meaning the students, the teachers that interact with this music, the ones I directly influence, this is for the band geeks, the choir kids, the art kids, the children of color, the LGBTQ youth, the abused, the forgotten, the misunderstood, and any who may be walking around with the weight of too many years of self-loathing chained on them, to be your best cheerleader, because you're beautiful, you're perfect. Learn to love yourself, because you are more than worthy. And to little Randall, hey buddy, things are going to be okay. So this is going to feature 2 soloists. We're going to have Beckett Dahl on alto saxophone and Annabelle Van Bronckhorst on trumpet. They'll be the whispers back in time for him. So we hope you enjoyed the performance of Randall Standridge and me, Reaffirmation. After this performance, there's going to be a slight break as we bring on the 10th graders to play a song with them. So hold tight after the song. This is me. as the 10th graders are joining us, I'll talk a little bit so we can kind of figure out what's happening here. First of all, I'd like to thank all the teachers at the high school in blocks 2 and 3 who allow the 9th and 10th graders to come together and play together, and the juniors and seniors to come together and rehearse together on Friday. Thank you so much for that, and Mr. Jones for letting that happen. Takes a lot of discussing. The song we're playing, so these two bands, I'm putting them together because each band is missing some instruments. If you just watch the 9th graders, they don't have any tubas, and so they don't really get a chance to play in a band with tubas. So I thought if we could combine them, then they get a chance to play with all the instruments. So. One of the things, though, that I wasn't counting on, I guess wasn't paying attention to, was the fact that now I have 24 drummers in one band. That's on me. So the piece we're going to play for you now is called Tripwire. So it's supposed to kind of resemble a kind of spy novel with the guys running around trying not to trip the wires, which the students think that's really funny because, like, it'd be lasers now, right? Like wires. But there's one spot in the song for sure. When you get to it, you'll hear like, did I bump it? Did I actually trip the tripwire or not? I can kind of sense that. So that's supposed to kind of give you the sense of this guy kind of sneaking through his house, trying to get to a target, and not trip the tripwire so people will alert. So this is Gerard Hall's Tripwire with the 9th and 10th grade band. best part about ninth graders is that eventually they're 10th graders. And then they're not quite as loud as 10th graders. Ninth graders get lots of energy. So I love them, but they're loud. This 10th graders are going to start their concert with a song called Conquest. It's supposed to be kind of a setting you out in a medieval battle to kind of conquer the legion next to you there. So this is supposed to give you kind of that sense of conquest, right? Aptly named. This is Conquest. as I said for the final song of the 10th grade band, I'm really pleased with the progression of the bands this year. They've really done whatever I asked them to, so it's been really fun to work with them this year. It's been exciting to watch their growth. I say that because this next song is very different colors. Band works are graded in a grade 0.5, which would be like a beginner level piece, up to 6+, which would be like college level professional. This one's rated a grade 4, which is about the level of music I hand out to my 11th, 12th graders. So I'm pretty excited that they're tackling this. It's based on Arabian folk songs. Three distinct themes. The first one is called, I apologize for mispronouncing everything I'm going to say, Alla Dolona. Originally it's written as a love song, but now it's used for many different purposes. The second theme you'll hear then is an actual original one that's written by Brian Balmages, but it sounds very Arabic. It fits really well with what's going on here. And theme 3 is called Tafta Hindi, which tells tales of an Arabic marketplace where merchants are calling out to potential customers to kind of try to sell their wares. What's really great is as these themes kind of start to unravel themselves, they kind of get intertwined into this beautiful musical tapestry, kind of incorporating all the themes together towards the end. So there's some unusual percussion that I want to draw your attention to. Over to your left, to my right. We've got the mother drum, the hand drum, which is played by Ethan. Where's he at? Give that, hold that up. Yeah, that's very beautiful, right? Then we've got darbukas, which are kind of these goblet drums. Why don't you hold those up? Easton and Aiden. Hold one of those drums up. Looks like that. They have this doom deka thing that goes on in there, so it's kind of fun for them to know that. And then we also have like shakiris and things and lots of different colors in the percussion that I think you're going to like. So this is a challenging work. It's called Arabian Dance. We hope you enjoy it. tenure with the orchestra. It's been transcribed for band in several different capacities, and I really like that arrangement of that. So, the next song we're going to do, it's called Our Castaways. I was at the world premiere of this work at the Midwest Band and Orchestra Clinic in 2018, and I fell in love with the piece. I've been waiting for a chance to play it. So this is the second time I get to conduct it, because the first time was at the concert with the Augustana Band. So we've made some improvements since then, so I hope you enjoy this. This song is dedicated to the endeavor to save pets. Pets who have been lost, abused, or cast aside. Inside the score is pictures of hundreds of pets that I get to open up and look at every time I play the piece, and it makes me smile. As someone who has a sister-in-law who's heavily invested in this, she goes and rescues pets for Bee Squad Rescue. And as someone who's had a dear friend who's been involved with the retrievers helping to find their dog. And then there's that Wendy Kitty Rescue over in Tyler. There's lots of areas that are trying to do their best for animals. And so if you have a heart for that, I would recommend that if you have the heart to donate to some of those, I would encourage you to do so. The composer of this piece, Julie Giroux, is an avid animal advocate, as you can hear from the passion of the music you're about to hear. On the piece, it bears this following inscription. It says, "Our castaways, for those who rescue, those who get rescued, and especially for those for whose rescue never comes." So we hope you enjoy Julie Giroux's Our Castaways. I don't want to introduce this piece. I know Mr. Shuckert's in the audience. I'm going to try to paraphrase the Raven, and I'm just going to butcher it, so I apologize in advance to him for this, and to Mr. Smith, who's not here, but I know he's here. He just can hear me saying this. This piece was commissioned for the 60th anniversary of the Edgar Allan Poe School in Annandale, Virginia, and so it only makes sense that the piece would be inspired by the famous poem "The Raven" by Edgar Allan Poe. And so it's a complex story. If you have not read the poem, I'm going to try to distill it for you. I'm so sorry, Mr. Shepherd. But in the poem, if you have not read this, Poe describes a man who is confronted by a raven. And regardless of the question or anything inquiry that is asked of the raven answers with the same response every time. It's nevermore. Nevermore. And so as you get, you may get more and more fun. And if you have children, like if you have a toddler and they're always asking, why? Eventually you go crazy, right? So the same thing kind of happens here. That the more, the nevermore, the nevermore, nevermore. Eventually the man kind of just loses it. He kind of descends into utter madness. And so, hopefully that was a good condensation. So what the composer does to kind of convey that madness is he uses a classical form called a fugue. And so what a fugue does is it makes a statement, and then once that statement is done, someone else in the band will pick up that statement and play that statement while this other person starts talking about something else. And then somebody else picks up the statement, the nevermore. So you can hear this nevermore, nevermore, nevermore over and over again until it kind of, we're not in Bach's day, so we're not, when fugues were all the rage, so we don't quite follow that. So it all makes sense musically, but it does get kind of chaotic. And so that's the form that he uses to kind of convey this utter madness that this person is descending into. It's creepy at the beginning, the piano plays this kind of creepy stuff. So anyways, I hope you enjoy Nevermore. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it. Students work very, very hard, so it's always good to have a great audience for them to listen to. The last song we're going to do is called Choose Joy, and it's a very joyful song to listen to, but it is about choice. We can choose to be miserable, or we can choose to be angry, we can choose to have hate, or we can choose to have joy. The song is written about a 20-year-old girl who succumbed to cancer. That was her motto. She was always going to choose to be joyful. And so, even though the music is incredibly uplifting and joyful, the subject matter of the music is not. But the lesson learned then is that we have to choose our path and choose to be joyful. And so, hopefully, this will send you out being very joyful and make it worth your while for coming down. I really appreciate being here. So this is our last song called Choose Joy.